Sorry.
来，大家跟进来。跟进来。跟进来。
好啦，嗱，俾你感應個溫度啦。
This is Andrew Yan's mayoral campaign Brooklyn opening. So hi, how are you?
Kaya nga sa tingin din.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm gonna go. Sorry, dear. Sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Can I squeeze in? Live streaming. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Can I? Sorry. What happened? Okay. Sorry. Sorry about it. Are you poking me? Oh, okay.
Gotta get out of the show.
Sorry.
No, they have to.
I'm impressed too.
You have to stay here. You cannot stand in the middle.
I am just shooting some audience, okay? Just take it easy. Take it easy. I'm being poked. Hi, Tyler.
We have extra room on the other side of the. Yeah, we need more people on this side of the room. Yes. Just keep going. Hey. Over this way.
Chaos.
Yeah. Just trying to.
Good chaos.
We need more people on the other side of the room. Just keep walking through the cameras. Thank you. You guys are great. Thanks for listening. Yes. Just keep walking. Yeah, keep walking. Yes. There's more side on the other side of the room. Yeah. There is.
So lots of people here. I will try to divide the population onto another side of the street of the room. Lots of press are here. Sorry, I'm shaking a little bit. Too excited. Okay, still.
你好，我知道你是 press， 但是你能不能推点到这边来？
Okay. What do you want me?
I know you're press, but
Oh.
I see that's your schedule.
Oh, okay. I'll go on the floor. How's that? Oh, okay. 老骨头一把了。Oh, this is terrible. Sorry guys, I don't have a tripod right now. It's probably better to not have a tripod right now, so I can be more mobile. I'm basically meeting. Okay. I think we should have some music, isn't it?
hello everyone. Thank you again all for being here, for supporting my husband, Andrew Yang, for mayor of New York City. Woo!
I'm Evelyn Yang. I grew up in Queens. I went to public school. I went to public school here. I went to college here in the city, and this is where Andrew and I first met. For those of when we started dating, Andrew was building a business, one that I'd never heard of at the time. But after years of hard work and dedication, and with the resources here in the city, his company became #1 in the country. But Andrew didn't stop there. He was seeing so many young people flocking to places like Wall Street, when what our society needed more of was job creators. He went on to start a nonprofit to help create thousands of jobs across this country in underserved communities. His work was honored several times by the Obama administration, and on one of these occasions, Andrew even brought me to the White House to introduce me to President Obama himself. Woo! Very cool. But traveling the country the way he did, Andrew saw firsthand the depth of our nation's problems. As an unknown Asian man, Andrew decided to run for president, warning that we needed to move government into the 21st century, that we were on the brink of an economic and jobs crisis. And in doing so, he started a movement for cash relief that fundamentally changed the way we think as a nation about basic income.
Yes.
He helped directly put money into the hands of the people who needed it the most through the pandemic. At the end of the day, Andrew is a problem solver. He doesn't wait for someone else to come along to fix things. He does it himself. And he's proven this time and time again. He hasn't been part of the political machine. He's never aspired to be. All he's ever wanted to do is whatever it takes to fix our biggest problems and work towards a more efficient, a more just society. For as long as I've known him, he's been guided by truth, intellect, common sense, and compassion. Our city desperately needs change. I know that as your mayor, Andrew will fight for you tirelessly to make New York City a place where you feel safe, healthy, and have the opportunities that you deserve. A place where our kids, your kids, and all of our families can thrive. Now, I'd like to introduce my husband, the next mayor of New York City,
And most of all, thank you to my incredible wife, Evelyn. I also want to recognize Councilman Kelman Yeager, who's been the incredible Senate champion to the There are two fundamental messages that have driven this campaign from day one. Number one, things are not working here in New York City. And number two, we need change. Am I right?
Yeah!
It's June 1st. It's 3 weeks until Election Day. But I want you all to reflect a little bit on earlier this year when I announced my candidacy. Do you remember? What did people say?
Flash in the pan.
Flash in the pan. This won't last. But here we are, 3 weeks until Election Day. Ready to win this race and deliver the fundamental change that New Yorkers have been waiting for so long. And when I walk the streets of New York City, I hear the same things everywhere I go. What is happening to New York? Why is the trash piling up? Why do my family and I not feel safe walking the streets or riding the subway? Why are so many small businesses dying before our eyes? I talked to a grandmother-to-be, a woman in Queens yesterday, and she said that her daughter was pregnant. She's going to be a grandmother for the first time, very exciting. But then she said something that broke my heart, but it's something that many of us are hearing. She said that her daughter's not sure if she wants to stay in New York. She's saying that I might want to move out of the city and then have my child someplace else. That is what's happening in many, many households around New York City, where people are questioning whether this is where they want to raise their families, build their careers, build their businesses, and invest in the future. We all know that this is happening, am I right? Yeah. It's a difficult truth, but we know it's happening. We also know on some deep fundamental level that our city's bureaucracies and agencies have not been delivering for us, and this is even before the pandemic. The city's budget climbed by almost 50% over the last 10 or so years. How many New Yorkers think that our city or its services have gotten 50% better during that time? And one thing that not enough attention is being paid to is that Mayor de Blasio is setting our city up to fail right now as we speak. Got a one-time relief payment from the federal government over this period of time, and instead of trying to plan for the future, he's setting us up for a $5 billion deficit in 2023, 2024, and on and on. And I say to you all, it's common sense that if you know you have these deficits coming down the pike, wouldn't you want to prepare for it now? Wouldn't you want to set aside some of the federal relief money, maybe even cut some costs? But you're not seeing any of this from Mayor de Blasio. And the other mayoral candidates, for whatever reason, aren't breathing a word about it. I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't want to inherit a city budget where we're being set up to face a $5 billion deficit 2.5 years from now. Do you? No. And you know who's not going to breathe a word about it? Eric Adams. You know why? Because Eric Adams knows that Mayor de Blasio is making calls for him right now, trying to keep things the same, trying to make sure that the people that have benefited from the way our government has been run for the special interests for years just stay entrenched in place. And they know that this campaign is the people's chance to take our government back and get it working for us. That I have not been climbing the greasy ladder of the city's bureaucracies over this last number of years, and that the reason why we have the resources to compete and contend and win is because we have gotten more grassroots donations from the people of New York City. Amen. This is our chance for fundamental change that can deliver results for us and our families. And what are the problems that lie before us right now? The problems that we know we need to address and fix. There were 9 shootings yesterday on Memorial Day in New York City. A woman was punched in the face just for being Asian in downtown Manhattan. My wife and her friends in Hell's Kitchen are having conversations about whether to buy pepper spray or mace because there's such a fear for their own safety. This is unacceptable. This must change. Nothing works in New York if we do not feel safe on our own streets, on our subways, and in our communities.
That's right.
And I'm going to talk about something that's happening in Brooklyn that we must change immediately. When we talk about these shootings, one thing that we're not talking about enough, again, is yet another failure on the part of our city's government, is that 3 out of 4 of these shootings are going unsolved. I want you all to think about this. We're seeing record numbers of shootings. Shootings are up 100%. And 3 out of 4 times, the person who shot someone is still walking around our city on the loose. Do we think that shootings are ever going to come back down if that's the situation? No. Of course not. If 3 out of 4 of the perpetrators are still walking around, you know these shootings are just going to continue on and on and on. What we need to do is put proper resources to work and say it is unacceptable that our clearance rate for shootings in Brooklyn is below 25%. Am I right? And this is going to require resourcing and staffing the gun violence suppression division, and make sure that the detectives in the precincts in Brooklyn and all over the city have the right level of resources and man and woman power to solve these crimes. Because what's happening right now is the detective gets that case. There's been a shooting. And then 3 days later, they get another case. There's been another shooting. And then 2 days later, they get another case. There's been another shooting. And so what happens to the first shooting? It goes unsolved. This is, again, sorry about that.
DJ's here.
This is, again, a symptom of what's ailing this city, is that the politicians argue back and forth about whose fault it is. Meanwhile, we can all see that it's not working. It's not working for us. It's not working for our families in terms of safety and security. We need a different approach. We need an evolution to 21st century policing that will include focused deterrence, proper staffing of the gun violence suppression division, trying to break the iron pipeline of guns from Florida, these gun shows, and we can collect the data, the serial numbers of every gun in New York City and find out where they're sourced and then go right to the source and try and cut it off there. There are many things that we need to do differently that are not happening right now. It's why we need a change. Am I right, Bensonhurst? Right. Now, our economy has been closed for months, and I just want to have a personal note here as a public school parent along with Evelyn. I believe that kids belong in school. And even now, though our schools are partially open, half of our school kids are not in school. It's June 1st. We know that summer's about to be here. Many of them have just gone the year without schooling. So we need to get them back into school in September, and I will do everything in my power to encourage families that this is right for our kids. 5 days a week. School's not just schoolwork, it's extracurriculars, it's sports, it's socialization. Ellen and I can attest to the fact that our kids need some social time.
Yeah.
And also it's going to free up parents to be able to go back to work. That right now there are too many jobs that are missing in New York City. And I'm a former small business owner. I want to talk a little bit about what small business owners do. How many of y'all are small business owners here in this room? I said there are a bunch of us.
Hey.
So you know if you're a small business owner, you have to deliver every single day. No one cares about excuses. Certainly no one cares about politics. You just have to deliver value every single day. And that's what we have been waiting for from our government for years and years and not getting it. And every time I see a darkened storefront in our city, it breaks my heart because I know that a family has invested years, decades of blood, sweat, and tears in trying to make that business work. And most all the time, they're not doing it for the money. They're doing it for the love. They're doing it because they're providing something important and valuable to their community. They're waking up every morning to deliver that. And when that storefront goes dark, it's a loss, not just to that family, but to the entire community. We have to do more to help these small businesses reopen. Am I right? Yeah. This is where the relief money should be going. I'm going to open a People's Bank that's going to channel millions of dollars directly into the small business owners and communities that are being overlooked right now. This is going to kickstart a recovery. This is exactly the kind of thing we need to do in the new administration. I'm going to start off by declaring that we're not going to fine any small businesses for the first year of my administration. We're going to treat you like partners and not a revenue source. Now, Evelyn talked about the fact that I appeared on the national scene running on basic income, cash relief, and I want you all to remember the first time I showed up on your TV screen. Maybe it was a debate stage, maybe something else, and you thought to yourself, like this is different. And then when I talked about trying to put money into people's hands, you thought, wow, that will never happen. That's too good to be true. But here we are, less than 2 years later, and New Yorkers have gotten the $1,200 check, the $600 check, the $1,400 check. Now we've seen that cash relief is real, it's powerful, it can be a game changer for millions of Americans and millions of New Yorkers, and we are going to make it happen right here in New York City. This is going to be the anti-poverty city under my watch. That's right. When I go to communities around New York City, this is what I hear over and over again, and many of you can relate to this. They say, Andrew, you're here, you're saying good things, you're asking for our support, but then we're not going to see or hear from you for 3.5 years, and then you're going to come back and ask for our support again, and nothing will have changed. How many of you can relate to that? Yeah. No. Unfortunately, that is the game we're all playing. That is the game that the people in the political machinery have been playing for years. They show up, they ask for your support, and then the streets get dirtier, the crime gets worse, your schools continue to fail, the small business owners continue to have people coming and treating them as if they're children and revenue sources instead of the lifeblood of our communities. This is what must change. And I say to all of the people of New York City who do not think that the government has been working for you, this is our chance. Whether it's here in Bensonhurst, or Soundview, or Richmond Hill, or East Harlem, or any other part of New York where you feel, you sense there's an insider's game, and you are not at that table, this campaign is for you. Because as your mayor, I will have one mission and one mission only, and that's get our city working for us, the people, and the families of this city, and I cannot wait to get started. Let's go! That they deserve, and let's show this city that great things are still possible. On June 22nd, we're going to be celebrating a new era in the government of New York City, and change will have arrived thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you. That we will win this race because the people have been hungry for this kind of change for years. We need to wake them up. We need to let them know they deserve better. They deserve better. We will give them better. Am I right? We know that the politicians who have been simply favors over and over again, they're going to get there. They will let our city fail underneath our feet as long as they and theirs get what they think they deserve. And that's not right. Am I right? That's right. I'm fired up.
Press, we're going to do a couple of questions. I'm going to call them from back here. Tim, Marcia, Julia.
You're in front of me.
Andrew, you mentioned Eric a moment ago. Eric, meanwhile, said of you today, why is he still in the race? The city needs to change. He's a leader, not a cheerleader. What's your reaction to that? And what makes you think that the mayor wants Eric?
I thought it was public record that Mayor de Blasio was making calls on Eric Adams' behalf. That's Does that sound like change to you all? No! No. And this is again why Eric Adams is not going to say a word about the fact that Mayor de Blasio is squandering our resources. Eric Adams is business as usual, and New York City needs a new type of leadership, and that's why I'm going to beat Eric at the polls on June 22nd.
Marcia Kramer.
So you've gone after Eric Adams as one of your main competitors, and you've in the past few days said that you didn't think that Catherine Garcia was fit for the job either, but what made you change your mind, given the fact that at one point you said you would have her be in your administration running things with you, and now you think she's unfit for the job?
I think Catherine has done a lot for the city, but I think that many New Yorkers want to turn the page from the de Blasio administration, and having someone who worked in his administration 7 of the last 8 years is not the kind of change that most New Yorkers are looking for right now.
So are you trying to say that her relationship with de Blasio disqualifies her from being able to be an agent for change in the post-pandemic world?
Again, I reference what I just said. I don't think that someone who's worked in the de Blasio administration 7 of the last 8 years is the kind of change that most New Yorkers are looking for. We need a fresh start. We need to turn the page, and that's what this campaign is all about.
Mr. Yang, with all due respect to my...
Sorry, is that right?
Yep, Julia Marsh, and then Dave Evans.
With all due respect to my colleague, I think he buried the lead. Adam said of you this morning, why is he still in the race? He's a joke, and it's not funny anymore. So I'd just like you to respond directly to that.
Again, Eric has Mayor de Blasio making calls on his behalf. Eric is business as usual, and New Yorkers need a different kind of leadership. And I'm looking forward to beating Eric Adams on June 12th, June 13th, June 14th, June 15th. New Yorkers know we need something different. And think about all of the favors that Eric had to trade to get to this point, climbing the ladder over this last number of years, scheming about his run, thinking like, oh, this is going to be my big chance. Eric, your moment has passed. Yes.
Just to follow up on that, you were known as the cheerleader-in-chief, and now you're going negative. So what's that like, a negative cheerleader?
You asked me negative.
You negative first.
You asked me negative.
It's like, no. Well, I'm running on a change message, and I think that's very positive. I think New Yorkers know that we need a change. They're very excited about this. They're excited for a break from the politics of the past that has not been working. So I think that's a very positive message. Would you all agree?
Yeah.
And if I say that business as usual has not been working for New Yorkers, like that's just the truth. Everyone can see that, and that's true of the people that have been in power for the last number of years as well.
Andrew, I have a feeling that once we hear from the Adams campaign today about some of your comments here, the response is going to be much like Catherine Garcia. He sees the polls. He sees what's happening. Your response?
I am so energized about where we are poised to win this race. Yes. Early voting starts in less than 2 weeks. We're going to hit the polls in 3 weeks. And you can see around me today that there are a lot of New Yorkers that are very, very excited about the chance to turn the page on the politics and leadership of the past that has failed us again and again.
Obviously this is the first opening of your campaign office, but today also marks the first day of Pride Month. And the organizers of the Pride March banned the NYPD until at least 2025. Do you agree or disagree with that decision?
I am so thrilled that Pride Month will be moving forward. It's such an important occasion for the city and for the LGBTQ community. I personally don't agree with their decision to exclude officers who are also LGBTQ, but it's their decision. I would not have taken the same approach.
Great. Last question, Gloria. No, you good?
Okay. Thanks, folks. Thank you all. Let's win this thing.
Give another round of applause for the next mayor of New York City, Andrew. We are going to do some pictures outside, so if you would like a photo, please form a line down the block outside the door. Andrew and Evelyn are going to go straight outside now. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Great to see you. I need to put my mask on. Okay, so we're going outside to take pictures, and I am going to interview some people outside, and I'm here.
Photos outside.
So here is people line up. I guess we're taking a group picture. Oh, sorry. So while we're waiting, it looks like all Asian people here. Hello, hi, how are you? Do you want to say a few words to my camera?
我同你影張相啊！
你说中文好了，说中文啊，会吧？说中文吧？你要说两句吗？为什么要支持？为什么要支持杨安泽？
因为我们华人要站出来选举那个市长，是吧？为我们华人发声的，因为这个种族是我们华裔欺负我们，我们一定要支持他。 为我们的后代呀，
是，
支持一定要
是。你再说两句，为什么要到这儿来支持杨安泽？
应该轮到我们中国人站出来了，现在。
They're speaking Chinese.
站出来，不要给人家歧视。
They say they want to support NGM because they're Asians, and it's time for Asians to support our own people, right?
不能歧视阿月。
因为有一个，我们最起码有一个人代表我们亚语的人说话的人出来嘛。
是。
我们要支持那个杨安泽做市长。
市长。
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
We don't home here to help us, you know.
Say it again, sorry, dear.
We need him to help us Chinese and Asian people. You're right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm gonna end this live streaming now. I'm gonna take more videos with my other camera. Thanks for watching. I will update the title later, okay? Because I was in a hurry. Hi, how are you? It's awesome. Awesome. So tell me. Oh, okay. I'll interview you later. Yeah. Sure. All right. So I'm gonna end now, okay, guys? That was a great one, and thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, this is Ching Juhl. Let me see. I'll show you me, okay? So Ching Juhl, this is outside NGN's new office. A lot of people showed up today, reporters and people who support NGN. We had a really good, what do you call, press release, press meeting. So I'm gonna end right now. I will keep shooting with my other camera now, okay? All right, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Bye, take care. Keep being safe. Oh, I'm shaking, sorry. Shaking with excitement.